It really upsets me to know how many people underestimate what they're capable of achieving in their lives. And it really starts with realizing how malleable reality and time and the things that you view and do can be. I often get reminded of just how weird reality actually is when I get these sudden bursts in perspective shifts. Just yesterday, I was chilling in my living room, standing up, looking at the floor, and in a split second, everything looked different. Nothing had actually changed, but my perspective randomly did. I wouldn't call this derealization because that sort of has a negative tone to it, and that seeks to separate the individual from their reality. It actually felt like kind of the opposite. Like I said to myself, shit, I'm really here, alive, existing, experiencing a life. I've tried to identify when or why this happens to me, and sometimes I feel like I've gotten it figured out. It usually starts with a single reality shifting thought that happens either intentionally or unintentionally, or intense presenceness caused by complete silence. And that single reality shifting thought usually looks similar to what I just said before, like just realizing, holy shit, I'm alive, experiencing something right now. And for some reason, I've noticed that this happens most frequently in social situations like parties. I'll just be vibing in the moment, enjoying the music right in the middle of talking to somebody, and then suddenly become conscious of being this small lens of perspective in a reality with billions of different perspectives all happening at once. No, it's not that. It clearly says mental disturbance there, see? This feeling does not disturb me. It only makes me more aware of my power. I'm sure that we've all experienced this to some extent, but rarely do people internalize this and comprehend what this feeling, I believe, is trying to tell you, and that is that reality is really what you make of it, and it's most likely not what you've been told it is. You see, most people are living a very low version of themselves. Where did this come from? Well, imagine your mind is like a canvas. This canvas was probably completely empty when you came out of the womb. I don't know if it was actually empty or if we had thoughts back then. Like, no one remembers what they were thinking when they were a baby. And since you were a baby and you couldn't so much as wipe your own ass, let alone stop people from planting their ideals and beliefs into you, your canvas got hacked. Your parents were probably the first people to hack this canvas. Unless you had parents who also understood how to recognize their power, they probably programmed a lot of their traumas and negative beliefs into you. And this, above everything, is probably the biggest determiner to how people feel about themselves later in life. Next up was probably your teachers in school. Pretty much all schools have a very particular curriculum to teach you only a certain type of way to live through life and a certain history of what's happened in the past, and it leaves out a ton of shit like the stuff that I'm going over in this video. And then your friends, the people that you're most close with, helped shape you as well. And of course, the media. You were basically forced into a system that suppresses you from understanding how much of a gift you are. Now here's the part where people like to start playing the victim. I would be successful, but X. I would be happier in a relationship, but Y happened in the past. I was the biggest victim for so long. I thought that after my first girlfriend had cheated on me that I'd have trust issues forever, and whenever that came up, I would blame my ex-girlfriend for it. And so when I got into a new relationship and I still had those trust issues that kept arising, I would tell my then girlfriend that, well, there's nothing I can do about this. You know, my ex-girlfriend made me this way. She dumped me. Anyways, I hate to tell you this, but no one is gonna save you but yourself, and it's up to you to override the canvas that has been hacked within your mind. Stop blaming your past and your circumstances. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for you. If you want to change your mentality and take back your power, you have to do it. But how do you do it? It starts by asking yourself a few questions. What are you consuming on a daily basis? As humans, we naturally tend to pay attention to the things in our environment that match up with our current beliefs. Like, most people think that the world is out to get them and that most things in life are negative, and so the world that they're in reflects that, and they see more of the negative things in the world. So when you're down bad about yourself, you're more than likely consuming a lot of negative shit. Your fault. But I don't really blame blame you because the system in which we're all in makes you gravitate towards more of the lower energy things. This is why the news shows 95% negative stuff. Not only because everyone loves drama and negativity sells, but also because big companies want you to feel like shit about yourself and the world. Fear is the biggest motivator in the world, and it's the easiest way to control people. People in higher positions want to keep your mentality, your mental state about yourself lower so they have more power over you. That is really the way that the world works, but so many people don't seem to understand that or want to accept it. Oh, actually, I watched the news to be more well-informed about the world around me. No, you're just addicted to the drama because we all are. But once you understand how much that shit is negatively affecting you, you turn it off immediately. And it's unfortunate that people will call you crazy for thinking like that and call you a crazy conspiracy theorist for what I've been saying. But when you decide to do anything outside of the norm, you gotta expect to be judged. And that's another thing, is that maybe you know deep down that the system that we've built is fucked, but you don't want to do anything about it or try to escape it because you're afraid of being an outcast and afraid of being judged. Ah, they instilled fear into you once again. They played you again. Okay, information consumption is important. Now let's look at what you're putting into your body on a daily basis. Bottom line, if you eat like shit, then don't expect to feel anything less than shit. And again, this system has made it far easier to access and afford food that is not good for you in order to, again, keep you at a lower level version of yourself. Yeah, obviously we all want to let loose once in a while and eat food that's not good for us, because let's be real here, that shit tastes good. But if you really want to take advantage of your power, you have to be correctly feeding yourself through whole foods. And above all of these, the most effective way to recognizing your power is through your thoughts. Start to evaluate the thoughts that you're having on a daily basis. Before you play a thought over and over in your head, ask yourself, is it true? Can I absolutely know that it's true? And who do you think it was that placed that thought in your head? That negative thought, was that you? Because I know damn well that it wasn't the real higher level version of yourself. It's something you picked up from the consumption of lower level sources and foods and media and people. That stuff is not you. It's a shitty version of you that this system has created. And now you actually think it's you. So I guess that leaves the question, where does this real you lie? Well, it's not where anyone else tells you where it is. Not even I can tell you. I can only show you what you're capable of. But here's what I can tell you. The probability of your existence is probably around 1 in 400 trillion. 1 in 400 trillion, and you've convinced yourself you're nothing special and have no place here because some people or sources told you that early on in your life, or still do till this day. I call bullshit. You are an organism capable of having complex, self-aware thoughts. You're the type of organism that can break natural animal urges and create something completely out of thin air through your imagination. The only species that we know of that can really alter reality in this way. Statistically, the probability of humans existing at all makes no sense. And look what we as humans have been able to do to create. I'm able to talk to you through a screen on a camera that's just connected through the internet, all the incredible architecture, technology that we've created, and you're still convinced that, I'm just a human. Like, being a human isn't something special. There is something very powerful here that I can't comprehend with words, but I know it's there. And it's there because I constantly contemplate this question. If humans were just some sort of meaningless mistake made out of the universe, wouldn't it have been so much easier for nothing to have existed at all? And yet, here you are, experiencing this video right now. Thank you so much to all the patrons on this channel on Patreon. It's a platform where I'm putting out exclusive videos and podcasts you can't find anywhere else. It's also where you can talk to me one-on-one. If you want to check that out, the link is in the description, patreon.com/Cole Hastings. I hope that this video hyped you up a little bit, you know, gassed you up. That's what I was trying to do, you know? You deserve to be a little gassed up today. That is it. And maybe it made you think about things in a different way. I hope it did. And have a great rest of your day or night.